And good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to March 4th edition of Makers and Movers podcast. Ooh, March right in. It's a brand new month, right? How are you doing today, folks? If you're a long time here, first time here, here's what I need from you: who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, and what the weather is like in your area, along with your 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? Now, today, what are we talking about? We're talking about spring. Spring is, the cruise season. And what does that mean? Like landscapers, contractors, cleaning companies, they do a lot of buying in the spring. So that is what we're talking about, especially if you think it's slow. No, that's what we're going to go with. Now, what else was there? We had a good show last night. Good show, Tuesday with Todd. What did we make last night? Last night we did almost dropped HGV anything decals. Ooh, that's what we made. We made decals, stickers, sticker. That's what we made. We did those last night. Showed how we, set up the file so that way we could use the HGV anything, 2 layers of glitter, stones, yada yada. We broke stuff. We made stuff work. We talked about things. We gave updates on things. And so, quick recap on things today. Last night, what did we talk about? Flock. Flock should have been shipped out. They're behind on production. So we're crossing our fingers that we have enough to make it till it gets here. My gut tells me no. So if you're going to need flock by the end of the month, order it up because I have a feeling we are going to run out. I'm crossing my fingers that we won't, but we'll see. So there's that one. Next up, anybody that is getting any email message, anything on recurring, we have figured out the issue. During the first batch of when we were doing everything, PayPal was processing everything. Well, when there was the people who, did not want anything to do with PayPal, even though you didn't need a PayPal account there just for, checkout, we added another payment option. That payment option was our e-commerce platform. By bringing them into the fold, they superseded every other payment option, especially when it came to recurring. The only way recurring could happen is through the Ship4Shop payment gateway. So if you used PayPal or a PayPal card or anything that you checked out with PayPal when you initially purchased, that's why it hasn't been charged, because it is not connected to the Ship4Shop. So what does that mean? If you get the email, they'll email you if you're having an issue. Just email back. They will get you the link to make sure that you still get everything, same price, everything right there. Check out the same way. Click the drop down, recurring once a month. Then we are good to go. So those were kind of the 2 big 3 things big last night, because we made some of those. We did some of the other stuff. And I think next week we're going to talk flock. Somebody had asked, about layering the flock like I did way back when before we were showing it. So I think that's what we're going to work on for next week. Now, what do we have? 5 things. We got a lot today because we've got doctor's appointments. We've got doctor's appointments and car appointments. And it's a short day because kids are early. So yeah, good times all the way around there. Crossing fingers. But then we also have, what else do we have going on for it? We've got orders to fill. We've got another store closed last night, so we've got to get that set up. We've got 2 more stores that want to open, so we're doing those. And for somebody who said, hey, we're not pushing on retail side of it, it's picking right back up where it left off on. So good things happening. Plus we take possession of the storefront in 11 days. Yikes. 11 days. What are we going to do with that? All right, let's check in and see how people are doing this morning. Barb, good morning to you. North Central Minnesota, 37, rain and foggy. It is what is the temperature here? Temperature says here that it is 38 and cloudy. Feels that way. It was misty. It was foggy. It was but it's not snow, so I'll take it. Water in the cup. 5 things. Clean office, 3D printing, digitizing, sewing alterations, work on website. Love it, love it, love it. Keith, good morning to you from the sunny Space Coast. Nothing in the cup yet. I've got, I did half, I don't know. There's a caramel mixture and a French vanilla mixture. Half and a half, I think, is what I did in there. So we'll see. Greetings, Renee. 38 on the way to 50 in Chicagoland. Water in the bottle. Tea in the cup. 5 things. Run engraving order. 3D printing. UFI training. Whoa. UFI training and testing. Did you get it? Did you get the little flatbed? I'm crossing my fingers for you. Let me know if you got that. Testing, artwork, and Barb. Survival to Strength. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Tim, good morning. Just headed back from the Title Bureau and License Bureau. About to get my day started. Very good. Got some embroidery to do and try to get my website back looking right and some dot stickers. Oh, DOT stickers. Like dot stickers, DOT, but that's what it was. What the flock? I know. In fact, I just seen an email come through on something, so that way we can, because I'm just going to go ahead and place another order so we can get things going on that. So, yeah, follow up with emails, do all the stuff, get all the things made, do all that. Good times, right? Okay, so what do you say we just dive into it? Because I talked to a few people last week, and they said it was slower than normal, and I said we're picking up because of everything that we did, in January, February, it's playing off now. So, I told them you need to hear this. Spring is not slow. You are just looking at or for the wrong customers. When you're waiting on those sports teams to come around, landscaping crews are out there getting work, and contractors are booking projects, cleaning companies are expanding routes, trucks are rolling, teams are growing, and every single one of those businesses, what they could use? Some branded shirts, right? They're not shopping for cute spiritwear or holiday designs. They are just buying operational uniforms. And so today we're gonna, talk down. We're not gonna talk down to anybody. We're gonna break down why these, industries do spend in the spring, and why you, yes, you, that one that's working out of the spare bedroom, can absolutely 100% land these accounts. So, tip one: spring is traditionally, add crew season, and adding crew means they're gonna need shirts. Landscapers, they don't hire in November. Most contractors, they don't expand in January. You know, anything route based, they're not adding those in the dead of winter. They scale when the weather shifts and workload increases. When is that? Spring. That's right, springtime. When a business hires, a new crew members, they don't debate whether they should buy shirts or not. They have to. A new employee showing up to a job site and some random weird ass t-shirt looks super unprofessional. So uniforms are not optional. They are operational. And I think where a lot of people mess up is they wait to see someone post on Facebook, "Hey, I'm looking for shirts." And then that post, gets 500, replies on it. You know, owners don't think in a, "Hey, I should look for a shirt vendor" language. They think, I need to onboard staff, right? So if you align your outreach with staffing, you are speaking their language. And, let's be clear, these aren't, just the onesie, twosie Etsy orders. These are 12, 18, 36, and plus orders tied to growth. And growth means repeat demand. So, some examples. An at-home apparel decorator messaged 3 local landscaping companies in March asking if they were expanding crews. One responded immediately and said, "Hey, they needed a 20 safety green tees within the next 2 weeks. Is that something you're able to do?" Done. Another one reached out to a cleaning company before peak season and secured polos for 5 new hires, which turned into quarterly reorders, and they kept growing. Right. So, action step for this is just, send some messages this week. Let's say send 5 messages this week to say, "Are you adding crew this spring? I hope local businesses get uniforms set up quickly." Simple, easy, right? All right, number 2. Spring is visibility season, and visibility demands branding. Okay? Winter's cold and crappy, and it hides businesses. Spring, new beginnings, it exposes them. Landscapers are in neighborhoods daily. Contractors have yard signs going up. Cleaning companies, have branded vehicles parked everywhere. That visibility, that turns uniforms, into mobile marketing. And business owners know it. If a crew shows up in mismatched, shirts, it just screams, I don't know about this. If a team shows up in clean, consistent, branded apparel, it builds trust immediately for them. Uniforms are not just clothing; they are credibility. And you don't have to convince them that they need branding. You just have to remind them that busy season is coming, and then this is when images matter the most. All right. Now, examples of this, a decorator saw, a contractor start posting large renovation projects on Facebook and message offering, hey, we can upgrade your shirts to some sweet embroidered polos for client meetings. The contractor said, cool, let's try it out. And they placed an order because they realized that image mattered. A lawn care company, refreshed its logo, before the season started. And what did they need to do? They needed to order shirts to match their updated graphics. Decorator landed the job simply by noticing the change and reaching out. So for this action step, we just need to watch for business increasing marketing activity and then message them, congratulating them, and then offer to align, with their new crew apparel. Simple enough, right? All right, number 3 is spring is definitely the time where owners spend before they earn. Let that think in for a second. Service businesses invest before revenue hits. They buy equipment, they update trailers, they spend on ads, they prepare for growth, and uniforms, those get bundled right into that preparation budget. If you wait too long, they're busy executing. They're not thinking about, I need a new vendor for this. Right now they're planning, and planning is when decisions are made. This is why timing beats talent in this instance. You do not need the fanciest designs because you're using their stuff anyway. You just need to show up when they're budgeting. And a lot of at-home decorators, underestimate this. They think, well, they're just going to reach out when they need shirts. No, they buy when they're preparing to scale, not when they are already slammed with things. So examples of this, a decorator contacted a pest control company in April before their marketing push. The owner had just allocated budget for uniforms, placed a sizable order. Right time, right place, right message. Another decorator bundled shirts in a spring equipment purchase conversation with a small contracting firm, and they secured an order before competitors even knew that there was an order to be had. So for this one, we just need to create something simple, a spring crew package, if you will, with pricing tiers and packages and turnaround times so that you're ready when those budget conversations happen. Okay. Now, before we get into 4 and 5, let's check back in and see how everyone's doing. Any questions, comments, concerns? Remember, put them in here and we'll answer them as we go. Vicky, evening here. It's 12:40 a.m. Vicky, where are you at that you're tomorrow? Where are you at that you're tomorrow for us? Because that's ways. That's ways. Ariette, good morning to you. Renee, I did. The ink just showed up on Monday, so I got it set up yesterday. First test print came out great. I'm crossing my fingers for you because there's been so many mixed results on it. So many mixed results. It's scary. I'm crossing my fingers you got one of the good ones because it seems like it's been all over the place. Jerry, good morning to you. Like email, message, or DMs, both. Email them, call them, pick up the phone. People hate picking up the phone, but phones matter. Email, DM, text, anything you want to get in front of them and contact them. That's what we want to do. Anna, good morning to you. Right, like I said, keep the comments coming. You guys help develop this, so we're going to keep rolling right into it. Now, number 4, believe it or not, these businesses, they don't give a crap about fancy. You know what they care about? Reliability. And this is where you win. Landscapers and contractors are not scrolling through Pinterest for shirt inspiration. What do they want? They just want a shirt with their logo. They want it done right. They want a reasonable turnaround time. Easy reorders, no drama. Right? Now, national vendors, sometimes can offer, those high minimums or slow turnaround time. You in your home shop, boom, offer speed, offer flexibility, and that's your edge. So stop thinking you're too small. Like just stop. Just look at yourself in the mirror. I am not too small to do this. 100% you can run six-figure businesses out of your house. No questions asked. No questions asked. Decorating? Absolutely. Small is personal. Small is flexible, right? That's attractive to businesses, that need, hey, I need 5 shirts next week because somebody quit and we hired somebody new. Okay? Yeah, we can do that for you. That's not spiritwear emotion. That's just uniform logistics. And you 100% can absolutely handle that for them. And so, example this decorator offered, a 5-shirt reorder minimum with fast turnaround time for an HVAC company. That flexibility kept the account local instead of going national. Why? Yep. Hey, we got a new hire. Okay, what sizes? Done. Ready to go. Another decorator set up a standing reorder system for a landscape company. So adding 2 new employees didn't require anything. Yep, we got it. Here's the stuff. Okay, perfect. Just let us know. So for this one, we just need to write a clear, simple reorder policy and include it in your outreach to when you service the business, to the service businesses. Okay. Now, number 5, service accounts stabilize your revenue. Ooh, and you know what that does? That changes everything. And this is the part that really should, excite you. Spiritwear, while amazing, is seasonal. Okay. Service uniforms, guess what? Those are recurring. Shirts wear out, employees leave, crews grow, logos stay consistent, and that means predictable reorders, pretty easy. And predictable reorders means stable cash flow. Imagine having just 3 solid service accounts that reorder on a monthly or quarterly basis. That baseline revenue, that takes pressure off other parts of your business. And now, spiritwear can become the bonus and not the survival. And you don't need 50 accounts for this. You just need a few solid ones. In spring, right now, this is the time when those, accounts are formed. Those relationships are made. That's where you can set up for future success. So, example, a decorator secured a 12-person landscaping crew and averaged reorders all summer long as shirts wore out and staff rotated. Landscapers beat the hell out of shirts. They get tore up all the time. Another decorator built a relationship with an HVAC company that ordered polos every quarter, as their client base expanded. Okay. So action step for this is let's just set a goal. Land 2 recurring service accounts this spring, and then we're going to track that outreach weekly. Okay. Now, to recap all this, spring hiring creates forced uniform demand. Right? Visibility season increases branding importance. Owners spend before revenue peaks. Service businesses value speed and simplicity, and recurring service accounts stabilize your income. So tell me, if you feel, like spring is slow time, you're just looking at the wrong market. I'm telling you, landscapers are hiring right now. I'm telling you, contractors are expanding and putting things out there. HVAC companies are growing, and you know what they need? Shirts. And you're just not, just an at-home apparel decorator. No, you are a uniform supplier. Spring is crew season, and so, the real question here is, look at yourself in the mirror. If there's something you want to do, are you reaching out, or are you waiting? Now, that's what we have for you today. On Friday's show, we're going to talk about, becoming the go-to vendor in your town. How can we become the go-to vendor in your town? That's what we're talking about Friday. Remember, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to go like, subscribe, share. Share is the biggest thing. Share gets it all out there for it. All right. Survival of Strength says, I was thinking about a 3-touch sequence for outreach. First email, second is call, third is email. Love it. And having that and then track each one. So that way you can see what you're getting from it. I know, people are on the fence about doing it, but still mailers, postcards, those still go out, especially for service businesses. They're seeing the stuff, they have it here for it. I know a ton that are still doing that. It is what it is. I already paid for an expensive. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Renee. I'm hoping. I loved the like the auto bed leveling. I loved everything about it. And it's just like when the X tool came out. There was so many issues that thank God they pushed it back like 6 months. That came from there. In Eufy's case, they got stuff out there and went. And when we had I still sometimes kick myself in the ass because we should have taken it up on it, especially with how things have turned out for beta testing. But we just didn't have the time for it. I'm hoping they have everything worked out. But they seem to everything being going along with it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. How does that outreach plan when you aim for bigger companies that same? You're going to do the same thing, right? Because it's the same people, same decision makers, same that. You're just expanding instead of here's a 12 shirt or 36. Here's this. That's all you're doing is just expanding out from there. Stacia, good morning to you. Maybe I should be saying to them, I'm a uniform supplier instead of a bulk printer. Yeah. And that's the thing is, at the end of the day, we are solutions providers, right? Logistics engineers for them, right? We're a uniform supplier for them. Bulk printer. Like most, I will go on a limb and say all companies do not care what you have for equipment. They don't care that you have 10 heads of embroidery. They don't care that you have 4 autos. They don't care. They just want to know, here's what I need. Can you do it? And can you deliver? Yes. So here's our packages. Here's our price. If you're a bulk printer, okay. Here's our printing, what we have. 12, 24, 36, 72, 144, 288, and go from there. Here's your price breaks on it. Here's what it is for a left chest and a full back, single color versus full color. Here's everything that you have for it. Boom, done, set, ready to go. So that's how it is. We do right there. We do not sell ink on shirts. We sell solutions. 100%, Brian. That's what we are. We're solution solvers. That's exactly what we are for it. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Mentorship community, your call starts in 35 minutes. I got a few things to do before them. Busy ass day. So thank you for joining us this morning. Remember, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to like, subscribe, and join. Share. Until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on, and we will see you then.